All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live pre-new session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly from awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody's doing well today on this beautiful Thursday. As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper, let's take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. All right. And as always, I want to start our day off by taking massive action. And that action stands for accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome, centering yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trusting your education, strategy, trade skills, and intuition. Imagine your trade successfully materializing, obeying your trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. So let's get to it. Um, if everybody can hear me okay, drop me one in the chat and we will get moving. All right, cool deal. Let's slide over to not a ton from a fundamental perspective yesterday. Um, had central bank speakers testifying. Couple notes. Bitcoin, new all-time highs, nearing 100,000. Broke above 97,000 on Thursday. Um, um, as Donald Trump's return to the White House gets closer. So, um, Bitcoin is flying high. You had UK factory orders improved. Um, Confederation of British Industry monthly net balance on new orders increased to negative 19 in November from negative 27 in October, better than the forecast of negative 25. Total order books were reported as below normal, but improved relative to last month. Export order books were also seen as below normal, but expectations for above selling price inflation rose, and stocks of finished goods were seen as more than adequate. Right, so less than normal, but improved is the overall sentiment there. Um, Hold on one second. Let's see what I got going on here. Okay. Um, so that is the word there out of the UK. You had European shares continue to fall. Um, as cautious sentiment returns amid earnings results and escalation in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. You had the highly anticipated NVIDIA earnings, which Benny was talking about. The results surpassed estimates, but sales forecasts for the current period failed to excite investors, right? So a little bit of a mixed sentiment there. um, ASML holdings were down 1.5%. LVMH dropped 0.9%. And JD plunged 13% after warning that its annual profits will come in at the lower end of the guidance. Okay. So some mixed results on the earnings side. Shares of Novartis were little changed, even though the Swiss pharmaceutical raised its medium-term sales guidance. Okay. So mixed results from the earnings. We'll take a look at some of the ETFs today and to see where those are, see the progress that's being made there. Over to Forex Factory. And you see, right, we talked about it yesterday, just a bunch of testimony, not a ton. Out of Japan, though, national core CPI was at 2.2%. Well, that's the estimate. Let's see. Don't have a result there. I'm sorry, that's for today. My bad. Wrong day. There's your testimony there. You had crude oil inventories come in above the estimate. And that's pretty much it from yesterday. So today we got, I didn't get a chance to take a look at what Governor Bullock said or Governor Ueda, but unemployment claims for the dollar coming in at 830, Philly Fed manufacturing at 830, more testimony, existing home sales for the dollar. And that's pretty much it. You got flash manufacturing PMI for the yen tonight. All right. So again, not a ton. We start to pick up tomorrow when it comes to data. So we'll see where things fare. Any questions from a fundamental perspective or anything that you guys have seen that you want to put on the table?
Hey, Ray.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Um, on the oil, I think oil is going to be mixed until after the new year because they want to do negotiations with the new president elect.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Well, they had and what I was reading last night on what was it, Routers?
Uh-huh.
Basically, I can't remember if it was Iran or Saudi. Wherever the war is at, um, they're basically waiting for him to get in the office to do the negotiations. But right now, when I was looking at everything, Brent oil is starting to get a rise, and I'm starting to see the difference in the news between Brent and crude when it's um, rallying or good news. So a lot of the news was basically um, reduction for Brent crude, and then that's what was moving yesterday in our crude oil.
Gotcha. I appreciate that, Joy.
Yeah.
Also looking at, and it's Iran that you're talking about. Um, there was another strike in Ukraine from Russia, and I briefly skimmed the article regarding that and the potential impact on oil there as well, just from the conflict um, perspective. But I appreciate the details on that. I appreciate you keeping an eye on those things. Anything else? No? All right. Back over to the chart. So the dollar, we talked about this yesterday. Let me refresh. Talked about the dollar yesterday, potentially pushing back up into this range here, right? And just trying to make that happen, right? We got stochastic in the sell zone. This on the 4-hour time frame. Back to the daily, right? You see that push back up to the top. Could see another push, and then we'll see if we get price to tail off and come back down to the downside here, right? I don't know if this is classified as the evening star. Or morning star. Technically, yeah. Morning star pattern. So let's watch this and see what happens at this 107 level. Um, let's watch and see what happens at this 107 level. If we're able to stay below that and make that move back down to the downside. Okay. Um, but that's where we are on the DXY, pushing back up like we talked about yesterday. Still in that 118, 127 zone, haven't got to the D extension. We stay below that level, look for that move back down on these dollar pairs. Okay, so we'll watch that there. We'll take a look at the dollar yen. right? So we were down, and this is on the 1 hour. Let's go back to the daily. Stochastic pushing back down a little bit. That D extension was achieved off that sub fib. But we're coming back and we're testing this level here. 154, 333. And we had read some articles a few weeks ago regarding price potentially getting back to that 160 range. And I definitely think we could get there as we move through the coming months. Just trying to clean some of this up a little bit. Um, Definitely think we could get back there. We're hovering here at this level. This is a previous level that I had marked out, looking for price to return to. And now, right, we broke that level, came back to retest that level. I'm looking for price to continue to rise here, right? We, at the close of today, we could have that swing low form. I mean, yeah, the swing low form, as long as price stays above this low candle. Okay. Um, if we get that, that's stochastic getting back down into that buy zone on this dollar yen, look for that thing to move to the upside. It might, Reese. I definitely think there's potential for it, especially with some of the conflict and kind of some of the risk off sentiment due to that war. Um, it definitely could. It definitely could fail. Talking about the 80-20 on the DXY. Yeah, definitely could fail. I don't. I'm not putting that out as a possibility. Um, for sure. Um, yeah. So looking for price to rise on this dollar yen. Back to the four, right? We got that 618 retracement there. If price holds here, got a nice little crown action happening, right? And we'll look for price to rise back to that 158, 159, 160 range, right? D extension sitting there. So this might a good buying opportunity as price is sitting in that zone. If we get this reversal confirmation here on this inverted this bullish crown pattern, definitely nice ride to the D extension, right? 554 pips. So watch that there in that action as you move through today. If we can confirm this level, right, we can see that price turn back to the one. See that crown pattern a little more closely there. We had an 80-20 that broke down to the 382. And now we're trying to reverse the stochastic on the 1 hour is also in the buy zone. Right. So definitely looking for reversal here on this dollar yen. Price to rise to the upside. Right. And we talked about some of these yen crosses yesterday. That one hit the D extension, but that nice deep pullback. And now look for price to rise. Okay. Questions on the dollar yen? Nope. All right. Cool, cool. Um, let's go over to Euro yen. We talked about these yesterday and these retracements coming. We got the pullbacks on them, right? Got the pullbacks to come. Stochastic still trying to push out of that buy zone, right? So still got some bullish opportunity there, but ultimately looking for price to rise into this 174, 175 range, right? So as we come back down here to the four, this is that retracement that we talked about potentially coming yesterday, right? Fell beautifully into the zone. Also, crown action if we're able to confirm this low. We'll see it better on the one, but boom, right? Deep retracement, 8-6 retracement level here. Matching extension is here, 166. 966, right? Pushing back up to those higher levels. So we come down to the 1, push right down into the zone, right? Didn't get to that 786 level. So it's a 618 retracement, right? Right in line with that crown pattern that we talked about. Boom. Broke the cloud, which is fine. Stochastic back in the buy zone. It just shows the consolidation. You see the cloud pressing sideways here, right? So that just tells us we're in consolidation there, right? And there's our crown pattern. All right, so if we get this nice low to form, boom. So euro yen opportunity here on the low, looking for price to rise. Okay, looking for price to rise. Questions on the euro yen? Nice buy opportunity there. Nope. Okay, cool deal. Let's take a look at the pound yen real quick. Same type of action, right? We're looking for the same thing. We got to this 382 here with the wick. Looking for the swing low to confirm today. Give us this low price. Stochastic still in that buy zone, right? We get a low price to confirm there. We'll look for price to take off to the upside. Okay. Down to the 42, that crown pattern action there. Okay. Right back into our zone. Boom. Okay. So looking for buying opportunities there on this pound yen. And on our 1, you see it a little more clearly. We did get a spike up to get to that D extension here, right? Got to that D extension, but here's that retracement. I told you we wouldn't get a new fib to form there off that original shallow retracement. And then boom, right? And there's that nice retracement giving us that crown pattern. So looking for price to start moving back to the upside from here. Questions on the pound yen? Nope. Okay. So we got some opportunities there on these yens. Again, just looking for high prices. Over the next few months in order to then get short once we get those high prices. So I think we got a couple months yet on these yens in the rise to the upside. So we'll continue to monitor those. One other one I'll take a look at real quick before we go to the ETFs. Aussie CAD, where are we sitting here? Sitting at the 618 retracement level. Morningstar pattern, right? Boom. That support. Got it there. Down to the 4. Still hovering in this range on the 4. Got an 8-6 retracement, trying to figure things out. See if we can break this cloud and make this move back to the upside. I really like to see this one get bullish. I don't know if it fully will. I got a position on this one, but I would like to see us and get bullish and get us back to 94,402 at least. So we'll watch and see how things continue to move there. Stochastic trying to push out of the buy zone here. So continue to watch 2 commodity currencies battling it out. So we'll see how things transpire. And that's at 80-20, trying to get some traction here. Got a nice pullback. See if we can break to the upside and continue moving long. Okay. So that's the Aussie CAD. Just a quick look. I want to take a look at that one. I'm in a little bit of a drawdown there. Um, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, those are the currency updates that I have. Um, let's take a look. Nat gas still flying, right? We talked about this yesterday. It's still in some low ranges, so we got some time. Um, we've got some time, so we'll continue monitoring this one as it continues to progress. Got an 80-20 format here on the 1 hour. Would love to see a nice pullback happen, right? At least coming back to the B boundary here. But if we get a deeper retracement, I wouldn't be upset. Nice deep retracement there. To then go ahead and take this back, right? Similar to what we had here. I'd like to see some action like this happen. So watching this one to see if I get my wishes of a low price on that gas back in this 270, 280 range to buy this. I think based on where we're sitting, I definitely think $5, $6 range is realistic. Um, Potentially even higher than that, but I think at least there, maybe even 650. So we got a ways to go still. So tons of opportunity here as we ride the waves to the upside on that gas. Okay, so we'll continue to watch that and see how things go. Okay. Um, mm, mm, mm. Pro- Projected at 7. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Where I want to go. Let's take a look at Adobe, one that we've been watching for some time. Looking for price to move to the upside over the long term. Come back to the daily. Stochastic still pushing down, right? We still got this large gap here. Just peeking into this range that we said we wanted to watch, right? As price closed the gap here. Okay, got another gap here. We'll see if we get another push down. Trying to give us like crown pattern action here. We'll see if that confirms on the push to the upside there. But we could get another push down into the zone first, right? Stochastic still pushing down here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to break down, coming back to around 485, right? Before we get a reversal on this. But with this consolidation happening here, definitely looking for this move long to come into play. We had because originally we had this move happen here. We're looking for a reversal, didn't quite get it. Broke that A boundary, and now we're in consolidation here. So, um, yeah, that was an 80-20 on the reversal, and now we've come back. Been holding since 499. Great work. Great work. George's been in since 499. Um, let me. I got my fibs all over the place on this. I'm going to update some levels here real quick. With the swing highs and swing lows, just so we see where daily levels are. All right, so this is the range we're playing in right now. Like I said, looking for this one to head to the upside at some point as things settle in here. There's that potential crown pattern. Stochastic on the fours and the buy zone. Yeah. Stochastic is mixed. So I would not be surprised if we get one more push down. Right. Testing that level, which is part of that left tip. Right. Wouldn't be surprised for that. And then the takeoff. So let's keep watching Adobe, see where things go. Um, that's what I'm looking at. This is more of a long-term play here. Okay, long-term play. We're looking for this to turn around and make that move to the upside. So low prices, I'm looking to continue to dollar cost average into this one. Looking for price to run to the upside on them. Questions on Adobe? Okay. ARKK. All right. This one's still sitting. This is on the 1 hour. I'll go back to the daily in a second. Still sitting in this 118, 127 zone. We could be in for a retracement to come at some point, right? 80-20 scenario, but hasn't really been able to break this B boundary. So we'll watch and see from a 1 hour perspective if we do get a deeper retracement or not. Okay. So we'll watch that closely on the lower time frames. Coming back to the daily though, this is what I was looking at here, trying to close some of these gaps, but that stochastic is already back in the buy zone. We might get this 62.39 level first. We might get this 62.39 level first before we get a retracement on this. So gonna watch that development closely as I come back. I don't want to run a fib off the high on this. Yeah. So that line is at 382. Beautiful 80-20 is taking its time, making its way to the upside. Strong bullish action, shallow retracement, momentum still pushing to the upside. So we could hit this 382 and push us into this 118 and 127 zone on the sub fib to the upside before we get the retracement. And then I'd be looking for a low price to get back long. So let's watch this as it develops here and see if we do get to 382 first before any signs of a retracement on this. Okay. So again, longer term scenarios, we could even just continue to rise, right? We break that B boundary in a strong bullish fashion. Don't be surprised with just a retracement of that B boundary and a continued push to the upside. Okay. So that says that this 80-20 here could fail if we don't break back below 54.58. Okay. Whoops, not that one. If we stay above 54.58, watch for price just continue to rise. The extension achieves get to that 382 on the daily. Okay. Um, so looking for this one to continue to move. Had a late entry on this one, so just continuing to monitor it as it moves. Another long-term hold situation. Looking for price to rise higher, obviously, over time, but that 382 is in sights, and then pullbacks and continuations to the upside from there. Okay. Questions here? Nope.
Nope.
Okay. 1 second. Take a look at EEM, BlackRock Fund. Waiting for the data there. Nice retracement happened here. Right? Stochastic back into that buy zone. Oops. I'll put in my levels in a second. And most of these are coming off of that portfolio that we posted in the community, right? Beautiful retracement here. Beautiful retracement, 50%. Could potentially see another push down to 42.28, but you got stochastic in the buy zone there, and the swing low has confirmed. Could be in for that reversal. All right. Again, maybe one more push down, getting us into this level and back to 41.60. But looking for price to start to settle in this range between where it is now and that lower, whoops, mouse spazzing out. In that range there. Okay. So watching that for potential reversal opportunity. Like I said, we already confirmed the swing low there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a push up and then another pull back down. Okay. So watching that from that perspective, but ultimately looking for price to settle in as we close out the month of November and then see in December if we get a nice rise there into the beginning of the year. Coming down to the 4. Virtually the same. All right. So we got mixed match on the stochastics. On the 4 hour, we got stochastic in the sell zone, right? That's where we get some of that back and forth. Could continue to see consolidation for a little bit here and again, right? Maybe even a push down before we get that ride to the upside. So stay patient here and wait for this 4 hour stochastic to get back into the buy zone, right? Give it some time to push back down. We'll see how deep we get, and then see if we get price to settle in for that move back long, right? Ultimately, with a matching D extension of 51.61, and potentially further than that as well. So if we come back out, right, it's only been up. Oh, I take that back. Hasn't only been up. There we go. That's the high I wanted to see. I took that fib out. So we're on the upside overall there. Yep. Okay. So this is our most recent fib sequence on the daily. So bullish through, and we'll just reassess at 51.61, see where things sit. Questions on EEM? Oh, okay. Cool deal. IYW. Another BlackRock fund. Second. All right. This is iShares US Technology Fund, right? Um, so if we zoom in here on the daily, got that confirmed swing low there. just shy of a 50% retracement. We're looking for that retracement to occur off that B boundary, and we got it. And now we're trying to push long. Right? There's a swing low there. Stochastic not quite in the buy zone yet. So we could see some consolidation, maybe another pullback back into this range here. But overall, looking for price to settle in and start rising here as well. Okay. You got a larger fib here. I'm gonna pull these small ones out for a second. That's a larger fib B boundary. Um, but I'm looking for price to continue moving long. So there's another smaller fib in there that I want to pull out. There we go. Right. So shallow retracement, looking for price to push into this range here first, right? And then potentially just test. Yeah, it's only this one has only been up, right? As you go back in time. So riding long here, riding long. If we break this B boundary first, I'm just looking for a retest of the B boundary and a continuation to the upside, getting us to 184. Okay. If we don't get a deeper pullback first, which I don't know that we will. Just seeing where things are from a tech perspective. We could just see shallow retracement in a run. So let's watch and see how things fare if we're able to break above 158.69, 158.69, previous resistance level here on a major reversal. So watching that level and the B boundary. So watching this range. Right? If we're able to break out of this range and head to the upside, I see us running for a while. Okay, so that's on the daily. Coming back to the 4. There's a B boundary there, similar to that daily. Similar to that daily. Okay, so same scenario there on the 4. We got some alignment there. Again, could see it kind of consolidate a little bit here before we get that push to the upside. And on our 1, see if we get some alignment here. That's going to take that out. There we are on the 1, right? We already got the 382 there, and we're trying to get bullish. So as some confirmation, right? As some confirmation as we watch this level, you see, right? Cloud pressing sideways ahead. That previous resistance level could serve as resistance again, or is currently serving as resistance. If we get this twist on the cloud and a break of this level, right? That'll give us a nice cloud break and then a pullback looking for price to continue moving to the upside. So 158.69 is the level that I'm keeping my eyes on right now. See if we're able to break that and move along. Okay. So that is iShares US Technology ETF. Any questions on this one? Um, we got a mix of both, Reese. Got a mix of both, man. We want to be able to diversify and be able to build portfolios on both sides, man. These ETFs are really just in the research that we've been doing over the past few months, really putting us in a position where they're designed to grow, right? They shift the allocations based on their different criteria, and we're looking at the potential of building portfolios, ETF based portfolios, not individual stocks that are designed similar, right? To give us um give us some diversification. Um the best way to trade them. Um we're using the Darwin accounts. We're trading them in Darwin is where Benny and I are trading them. And we're looking at them from a long-term perspective. So it's more of a buy and hold scenario. Um in the Darwin because they're designed to give a return. um and so we have a mix of ETFs and currencies depending on, so I have three Darwin accounts, different strategies for each one, but um mix of currency and ETFs looking at long-term scenarios for growth. So yeah, man, it's a great opportunity for uh to really start to build out a portfolio using Darwin. Um, I have one that I have one that is majority currency based, looking at more of a shorter term time frame. Then I have one that's a mix of ETFs and currency, and that's more of a mid to long term. And then I have one that is all ETF, with the inclusion of nat gas, and that one is a long term based strategy. Um, so yeah, so it gives, still able to keep my my trader hat on for the currencies, and some of those currencies are also long term situations where I'm looking at longer term moves on them. So building those positions. Um, I'll repost it in the link, but I mean in the community, but you can also go to the in the community, you can go to the challenges, and there's a post there for the Darwin account. But I'll repost the link in the community as well. Um, you're welcome. Make what a PDF, Joy?
What was posted on the portfolio.
Ah, I'll make a note of that. I'll make a note of that. We're looking at some different ideas too on how we can how we put things together for these portfolios. Um, but I will note that and add that to my discussion with Benny. Um, oh, portfolio tab. I got you. I got you. Got you. That's a good call. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We can post updates in that as well. Uh, boom, cool deal. Um, yeah, yeah. So that's how we're doing it. And these two, Reese, you can trade you can trade these from an options perspective as well, right? If you wanted to do that. Um, we like the Darwin setup. 'Cause I think you have the stock and the stock account with Darwin. Um, we're trading these with just the regular account um in Darwin. I wouldn't format it. Okay, I got you. I got you. We'll get you set up. Yeah, we're just using the regular Darwin account and utilizing the capital to build out the portfolios with specific allocations and percentages. We'll continue to build on it. Oh wow. We continue to build on it because we also want to be able to give you guys like really in-depth detail, even when it comes down to how to reallocate, right, based on the percentages, right, and how to go about that in specific detail so that as the account grows and as you're making the profit, you want to make sure that your allocation percentage stays within your range. So working on building out what that looks like and how to shift your allocation, what to sell, when to sell it, and where to move that capital into. So those are some of the additional pieces that we're putting together so that we can really lay out a full plan for you guys and for future members on what this looks like, right? And how to build that portfolio in a sustainable way that allows you to make profit in the short term and in the long term to build some valuable positions. If you use Darwin or right, if you're someone that has investments elsewhere, self-directed, you can then start to self-direct in a similar way, right? So that is the longer term vision for where we're going. And that can include, like I said, some of your currencies as well as we look at them from a long term perspective and a shorter term perspective. So as things, the economy and things continue to shift. So um, yeah, yeah, and as we continue to ingrain ourselves with the Darwin team, building out what that um, what that fund actually looks like, right? And how we scale that to a valuable and sustainable level. What's that, Donette? Start looking into what?
All right. Hey, Ryan, morning. Oh, I
Good
was talking
morning.
to Reese in the chat. This is futures.
Futures. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Futures are definitely fun. Definitely fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I've done some futures trading in my past for sure. For sure.
Great for scalpers like me.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Definitely is. Some really nice short-term moves. And as you ingrain yourself there, you kind of build out some really cool strategies on um timing and things like that. So yeah, I
I
like it.
think learning Forex in general is an advantage to anything else that you're gonna do. So
Oh yeah.
we're super grateful, our FIB strategy, or I know you guys don't call it a strategy, but what we use here, you can do once you've learned how to do Forex, you can do and learn market structure.
Yeah.
It's just building upon handling you, basically.
Exactly. Once you learn the foundation, it really becomes powerful once you get that solid foundation of how the market actually moves. You can take it anywhere. Just thinking back when I was studying with one of my old mentors on the option side, if I would have understood the fibs the way that I do now, combining with what he was showing me on the option side, it would have been crazy powerful. But learning that opened my eyes to a different level of understanding, and then adding what we have here on top of that. Um, like I said, it's really powerful and it can take you literally anywhere. So when we say you can trade any asset class, like you guys are seeing it, you really can, right? You can really trade any asset class, any financial instrument, and use the same exact thought process, and same exact methodology. Yeah, that price manipulation is crazy on the currency side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you can use it anywhere, man. We've been saying it since the beginning, and you guys are really starting to see it as you start to get comfortable with yourself and really looking at the different financial instruments. So can definitely take you anywhere. For sure. For sure. So I'm gonna wrap things up there. Any questions on anything that we covered this morning? No? Good people. I greatly appreciate you, man. Greatly appreciate you guys showing up. Continue to show up for yourselves and continue to implement. Um, the discipline is the hard part, 100%. Right. That's where the work really comes in. That's where it really comes in, sticking to your guns, sticking to the foundation, especially when things get hectic. But we'll be back at it tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. You guys have a phenomenal, phenomenal Thursday. We'll see you then. Peace.